Hi everyone. So we have Indian polity and governance last 10 years previous question paper compilation of UPSC prelims. This is prepared by Vision A. So we are going to do this exercise of solving the question from this very document. Okay, before we start, let us see the questions where question 10. Okay, so the most important theme you have is the governance, which is having 28 questions, and in polity section you have parliament, okay, 25 question, and fundamental rights, DPSP, and FT, which is fundamental duties. These three together constitute around 28 questions. Okay, so you see, so the most important thing is the parliament, then fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and DPSP. Then you have preamble, salient features of the Indian constitution, political system, Indian judiciary, and executive. Okay, so and here you have government scheme and initiative. Okay, so what we are going to do today, we are going to do the parliament question. Okay, so let us see. So you can see the sources. So basics. You all know that you have to do the basics from the 11th NCRT Indian Constitution at Work, and then you can shift to Lakshmikant. Okay, so these two will be uh, important. Okay, so we'll start from the parliament. Okay, so let me just bring it bigger in bigger form. Okay, so in 2015 they have asked question from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the first question is that consider the following statements that first is the Rajya Sabha has no power either to reject or to amend a bill. Okay, money bill, sorry. So you might be knowing that this is the true answer, true statement. Why? Because just a minute. Because this is true that Rajya Sabha can only what Rajya Sabha can do. Rajya Sabha can only discuss the money bill. Okay, they have no right to reject or amend a money bill. So this is correct. So they can only discuss the money bill. So remember this. So statement one is correct. Now let us see the statement number two. So the Rajya Sabha cannot vote on the demands for grants. Okay, this is also true. Why? Because Rajya Sabha is not the house of the Rajya Sabha is not the house which represents the people. Rajya Sabha is the house which represents the states. Okay, so so that is why they cannot vote on demand for grants. Okay, this power is with the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha. Why? Because Lok Sabha is the representative, is the house of the peoples. Okay, it is the house of the people. So it represents the people. Okay, so this is statement is also true. Now, third statement, the Rajya Sabha cannot discuss the annual financial statement. No, this is incorrect. Annual financial statement is basically the budget under Article 112. Okay, under Article 112, you have annual budget. Okay, which is mandatory by the Constitution that the Union government has to present before the Parliament. Okay, particularly it is the person who lay down the annual financial statement. Okay, along with the microfinance, I think FRBM Act, those provisions of along with two documents of the FRBM Act. Okay, so that is what is it is. So three is incorrect. So if you eliminate three, C and D will be eliminated, and we know one and two are correct. So B will be the correct answer. Okay, so explanation you can see. So the powers of Rajya Sabha are not at par with that of the Rajya Sabha in the following respect. It means that the power of Rajya Sabha are not equal to the Lok Sabha in following respect when it comes to a money bill, where it can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha and not in the Rajya Sabha. Okay. So here, in case of the money bill, what happens that Rajya Sabha has no role with respect to the introduction of the money bill or changes in the money bill. Okay, it is solely with the uh, Lok Sabha. So, a money bill can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha. Second, Rajya Sabha cannot reject or amend a money bill with or without recommendation within 14 days. With or without recommendation within 14 days, the bill should be returned to the Lok Sabha. Hence, statement one is correct. Now, the final power to decide whether a particular bill is a money bill or not is vested in the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Okay, Now, in relation to the budget, the Rajya Sabha does not have the right to vote on the demand for grants. And statement 2 is also correct. Article 112 of the Indian Constitution provides for the budget, that is the annual financial statement. Okay, so the term UPC may trap you by saying that the Article 112 of the Indian Constitution provides for the budget. Okay, so you must remember that this statement will become wrong because in Constitution they have not mentioned budget. Uh, what is mentioned in the constitution is the annual financial statement. Okay, so this is the you must remember the official name of the budget, that is annual financial statement. Okay, this is what is mentioned in the article 112. So this is the correct. Annual financial statements can be discussed in the Rajya Sabha, but their amendment proposal can either be accepted by Lok Sabha or may be rejected by the Lok Sabha. This is important that the annual financial statement can be discussed in the Rajya Sabha, but their amendment proposal can either be accepted. So Rajya Sabha can give the proposal for the amendment, but it is up to the Lok Sabha that they want to whether they want to accept or they want to reject. Okay, so Lok Sabha can reject or accept the proposal of the amendment by the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so estimate theory is not correct. No bill imposing tax can be introduced in the parliament without the recommendation of the person. Okay, so if you want to impose any kind of bill, if you want to impose any kind of tax for which you are bringing a bill, so you must need to have the recommendation of the president. Okay, consent of the president, that is what it is saying. So without the recommendation of the president, no bill imposing tax can be introduced in the parliament. Now moving ahead, so elimination strategy, they are saying that the third statement was easy to eliminate, as Raswa can discuss annual policy statement budget even if it cannot amend the same. Okay, now, so the first question we have seen that they have asked from the core functions of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so that was the first question. Now let us see the second question. So second question is particularly from the bills. When a bill is referred to a joint sitting of both the houses of parliament, it has to be passed by. So it is talking about a ordinary bill. Okay. So because if they, it is not a constitutional bill, because for that you have to mention that bill, a constitutional amendment bill. Okay, but they have not mentioned, so we will consider it as a ordinary bill. When a bill is referred to a joint sitting of both the houses of parliament, again joint sitting. So we know that for constitutional bill there is no provision of this one joint sitting. So it is a ordinary bill. Okay, it has to be passed by. So let us see absolute majority of the houses. So there is not nothing called absolute majority. So this is wrong. Two-thirds majority of the houses. Two-thirds majority of the houses would be correct if there has been a constitutional amendment bill. So this is also incorrect. Now these two have gone. Three-fourth. There is no mention of three-fourth majority of the of three-fourth majority in anywhere in the constitution. So three are gone. So we are left only with A, that is a simple majority of the member present and voting. Okay, so answer you have A. So article, so let us see the explanation. So Article 108 of the Constitution of India has made provision for joint sitting in case of deadlock on any particular bill except money bill and constitutional bill. Okay, so you have joint sitting provision as per the Article 108 of the Constitution only in case of ordinary bill. Okay, which means that for money bill, if there is a deadlock in for money bill or the constitutional amendment bill, so there cannot be joint sitting. Okay, so that is the thing. It is passed by a simple majority, that is total members of the both the houses present and voting in the joint sitting. So simple majority. Okay, so this is correct answer. Okay, yes. Now additional information. So joint meeting thrice till date. So there has been only three joint sitting meeting that has happened till date. Okay, so first joint sitting happened on account of Dowry Prohibition Bill when there was a deadlock on Dowry Prohibition Bill in 1960, then Bank Service Commission Bill 1977, then Prevention of Terrorism Bill 2002. Okay, now third question is from the funds for union government. Okay, let us see. So with reference to the union government, they have asked with reference to union government, consider the following statements. So the Department of Revenue is responsible for the preparation of union budget that is presented to the parliament. Okay. So the Department of Revenue, read it again. The Department of Revenue is responsible for the preparation of union budget that is presented to the Parliament. Here, what is the logic of UPSC? What is the mind of UPSC is that they often change this particular thing. Okay, so this is so you must remember that some most of the time what will happen that whatever department they will write it wrong. Okay, so we will consider this as wrong. I don't know about who prepared this preparation of the union budget, which department. Okay, so let us see the second one. No amount can be withdrawn from the Consolidated Fund of India without the authorization from the Parliament of India. That is true. So everywhere we have two, so we can't eliminate this. Okay, so let us see three. All the disbursement made from public account also need the authorization from the Parliament of India. Now they are saying all disbursements. Okay, all disbursements made all disbursement. So there is a keyword that is all. Okay, this is extreme word all the disbursement made from the public also need the authorization of the Parliament of India. Do you think this is true? We have a very big country, so there must be disasters. Okay, so for the disasters you need to have quick funds. Okay, you need to have quick money in very short period of time. So for that matter you will go to Parliament and you will wait the authorization of Parliament. You will wait the for both the houses of Parliament to clear the fund and then get it assented by the president. Then will you use? So it will take lots of time. Around 10 days will go. Okay, what will you do then when there is a immediate uh, necessity of fund to manage the disaster? So this is so using logic we will eliminate this one. Okay, three can't be the answer. So two are common, so we know two will be correct. Two is the correct. But here told you that Department of Revenue, I think this should be incorrect. So we'll consider only two as the correct answer. So C will be the correct answer. Okay. As per logic, even if you don't know, so you can come to the 50-50. You can come to two options. Okay. You will be able to eliminate two options and you will left with two options. So 50% chance there will be for you to solve this question. Okay, so settle with C. Let us see the explanation. So it is the Department of Economic Affairs which prepared the budget. So I told you that they will change the name of the department. So not Department of Revenue, but it is the Department of Economic Affairs which prepared the budget. So public accounts include provident fund deposits, judicial deposits, savings bank deposits, departmental deposits, remittances, and so on. This account is operated by executive action. That is, the payments from the this account can be made without parliamentary appropriation. Okay, such payments are mostly in the nature of banking transaction. Only second estimate is correct. Now here is a government accounts. Okay, you have consolidated fund, then contingency fund, and then public account. Okay, so contingency fund expenditure does not need parliamentary approval. Okay. Consolidated fund expenditure needs parliamentary approval and public account a small savings like these things. Okay, now moving to the next question, which is question number four about the bills. Which of the following statement is correct? A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its prorogation. Okay, prorogation. They are not saying dissolution. A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its prorogation. Okay, so this is incorrect. Why? Because a bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its resolution, not on prorogation. Okay, prorogation resolution means the very life of the Lok Sabha has ceased to exist. Okay, but in case of prorogation, it is not so. It is a prorogue means the a session of parliament is prorogue is ended, not the life. So this is incorrect. A bill pending in the Rajya Sabha which has not been passed by Lok Sabha shall not lapse on its resolution. Read it again. A bill pending in the Rajya Sabha which has not been passed by Lok Sabha shall not lapse. Yes, this is totally correct. So B will be the correct answer. Now explanation. So when the Lok Sabha is dissolved, all business including bills, motion, resolution, notices, petitions, and so on, pending before it or its committee lapse, they to be pursued further must be reintroduced in the newly constituted Lok Sabha. However, some pending bills and all pending assurances that are to be examined by the Committee on the Government Assurances do not lapse on the resolution of the Lok Sabha. The opposition with respect to lapsing of bills is as follow: a bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses. Okay, whether originating in the Lok Sabha or transmitted to it by the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so what is there? So a bill which is pending in the Lok Sabha lapses. It does not mean that whether it has originated in the Lok Sabha or transmitted to it by the Rajya Sabha. Okay, if it is in the Lok Sabha and Lok Sabha lapses, Lok Sabha results happen, then it will also lapse. The bill passed by Lok Sabha but pending in the Rajya Sabha also lapses. A bill not passed by two houses due to disagreement, if the person has notified the holding of a joint sitting before the dissolution of the Lok Sabha, does not lapse. A bill pending in the Rajya Sabha but not passed by Rajya Sabha does not lapse. The statement 2 is correct. A bill passed by both the houses but pending assent of the president does not lapse. A bill passed by both the houses but returned by the president for the constitution of house does not lapse. Okay, so wherever there is a mention of precedent, wherever there is precedent comes, so all those bills will not lapse. Okay, and wherever there is a Lok Sabha, whether bill is originating in the Lok Sabha or is passed by Lok Sabha but is still in the Rajya Sabha, so there those will be uh, lapsed. Okay, now a bill does not lapse due to prorogation of system. Moreover, similar question was asked in 2020. Okay, now next question. With reference to the Indian Parliament, consider the following statement: a bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its decision. So we have already solved this question. Again, we will solve this. A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its resolution. Yes, that is correct. A bill passed by Lok Sabha pending in the Rajya Sabha lapses on the resolution of the Lok. A bill passed by Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha lapses on the resolution of the Lok Sabha. Yes, this is also correct. A bill in regard to which President of India notifies his intention to summon the houses for two adjournments. That's when we know this is incorrect. So three is correct, incorrect, and one and two is correct. So B will be the correct answer. Now one question has also come in 2017. So about the parliamentary proceedings. So the Parliament of India exercises control over the functions of the Council of Ministers through which, so adjournment motion, yes, that is true. Adjournment motion is what is an opportunity where a member can ask a question from the ministers. Question as again is it is also a device to ask the question and supplementary question. So okay, so all of them are correct answers. So D will be the correct answer. Now let us see the explanation. So Parliament exercises control over the ministers through various devices like question are discussions, adjournment motion, no confidence motion, etc. Here, control over functions must not be taken in literal manner. The phrase means that the Parliament can demand answerability from the Council of Ministers, the government, through these instruments. Now, what is adjournment motion? So, a motion for discussing a specific and important matter that should have urgent consideration. It can be moved by any member of the House and is in the nature of emergency motion of the censure upon the government. The object is to draw the attention of the government to a matter of urgent public importance so as to criticize the decision of government in an urgent matter in regard to which a motion or resolution with proper notice will be too late. Now question R. What is question R? So an hour of every sitting of the House available for asking and answering of question is popularly known as question hour until the 232nd session. The first hour of the House was available for asking and answering of questions. From the 233rd session onwards, the question hour has been shifted, which now commences from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Okay, now what is supplementary question? So these are questions which arise out of a minister's answer to a stated or short notice question. Now, these can be asked with the chair's permission immediately after the minister has answered the main question for the purpose of further elucidating any matter of fact. Now, we have solved so far five questions. Now, let us see the question number six. With reference to the Parliament of India, consider the following statement. A private member's will is a bill presented by a member of parliament who is not elected but only nominated by a president of India. So this is incorrect. So a private member is any member who is not a minister. Okay, so he or she can be a nominated member or can be elected member, not only nominated. Okay, so this is incorrect. Recently, a private member's bill has been passed in the Parliament of India for the first time in history. No, this is incorrect, totally incorrect. So let us see the explanation. A private member's bill is introduced by any member of parliament other than a minister. Okay, so any member who is a not minister is considered as a private member. Its introduction in the House requires 1 month's notice. Its drafting is the responsibility of the member concerned. Hence, statement one is not correct. The last members bill passed by parliament was the Supreme Court Enlargement of Criminal Appellate Jurisdiction Bill 1968, which became an act on August 9, 1970. The Rights of Transgender Persons Bill 2014 passed by the Rajya Sabha on Friday is the first members bill to get the upper house approval in the past 45 years, and statement 2 is not correct. So Lakshmikant and Hindu and Indian Express they have given the reference. Now in 2018 there was again question on the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So let us see. Uh, in the first Lok Sabha, the single largest party in the opposition was the Swatantra Party. Okay, in the Lok Sabha, a leader of opposition was recognized for the first time in 1969. Leader of opposition was recognized for the first time in 1969. Okay, in the Lok Sabha, if a party does not have minimum of 75, its leader cannot be recognized as a leader of opposition. Okay, so they are saying that correct answer statement we have to trace correct statement, and statement number three is saying that a minimum of 75 members are needed if anyone has to be if any if any party has to seek the recognition of its leader as the leader of opposition. So you have 550 member, so you need to have only 10%. So 52 around seats you need to have 51 or 52. Okay, not 75. So this is incorrect. So 3 has gone, 3 has gone. So B will be the correct answer. Okay. So B will be the correct answer. So elimination, we will eliminate 3 everywhere. 3 is incorrect. Okay, so if you eliminate 3, so statement 1 has gone. Let me just change the color. So if you eliminate 3, so this has gone, this will also gone, and this will also gone. Okay, so only B will is left, and which is the correct answer. Now next. So the Congress Party won in the first seat and finished way ahead of any large challenger. The Communist Party of India that came next in terms of seats won only 16 seats. So two is correct. In 1969, an official leader of opposition was declared for the first was given a statement recognition in 1977. The leader of largest party having not less than 1/10. Okay, I told you 1/10, not more than that. Seats of the total strength of the house is recognized as the leader of the Rajya. Okay. So source is basically Lakshmikanta and politics India since independence. The third statement was easy to eliminate as the issue of having no leader of opposition. The six details of 10 was repeatedly covered in news. Okay. Now question number I think 18. Okay. So question number 8. So this we will not cover. So we'll jump to the next question. Bills. Regarding money bill, which of the following statement is not correct? Again, they have asked question on the money bill. Okay. So this time we have to trace which is not correct. A bill shall be deemed to be a money bill if it contains only provisions relating to imposition, abolition, remission, alteration, or regulation of any tax. This is correct. A bill has provisions for the custody conservation fund of India or country. This is also correct. A money bill is concerned with the appropriation of money out of contingency fund of India. No, this is incorrect. So we know that the contingency of fund of India that does not need the approval of parliament. So this is incorrect. So C will be the correct answer. Okay. Now let us see the next question. Again, 2023, with reference to finance bill and money bill in the Indian Constitution, consider the following statement. When the Lok Sabha transmits finance bill to the Rajya Sabha, it can amend or reject the bill. So finance bill, yes, that is true. So this is correct answer. A statement. When the Lok Sabha transmit money bill to Rajya Sabha, it cannot amend or reject the bill. It can only make recommendation. This is also true. In case of disagreement between the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, there is no joint sitting for the money bill, but a joint sitting becomes necessary for a finance bill. I don't know about this. So two, of course, two out of three are correct. I don't know about one. So we'll leave this question. Question number, I think, let me see how many questions are still there. Oh my God, there are lots of questions. So I don't think we have sufficient energy to cover all the question in one go. Okay. So now this has gone. So I think how many questions are there? So there are 25 questions. Okay. So I think 10 to 12 question we have done today. Let us see next question. So with reference to the Parliament of India, consider the following statements. So prorogation of a house by the President of India does not require the advice of Council of Ministers. Okay, prorogation. So they are saying prorogation, which is done by the President, does not require the advice of the Council of Ministers. This is incorrect. Okay, generally advice of Council of Ministers is must for the President to do any kind of work. Okay, however, there are certain exceptions. Okay, I'm saying generally. Okay, so this, but here you need to have the consent of the advice or the consent of the Council of Ministers. Okay, so this is incorrect. So one has gone. Now we are left with C and D. So three is gone. So the three is the correct. Now see the statement number two. Prorogation of House is generally done after the House is agent signed die, but there is no bar to President of India prorogating the House is agent. This is correct. This is taken from Lakshmikant. Okay, so the same thing you will find in the Lakshmikant. This same line. So two and three, yes, C is the correct answer. Now let us see the next. Now, with the reference to a Speaker of Lok Sabha, consider the following statement. He, while any resolution for the revolution of removal of the Speaker of Lok Sabha is under consideration, he or she shall not preside. He or she shall not preside. Okay, yes, this is true. He shall not have the right to speak. No, this is incorrect. Okay, so two has gone, two has gone. So A is the correct answer. In the he shall not be entitled to vote in. This is again incorrect. Okay, while there is a removal resolution brought to the Lok Sabha, so he will be entitled to vote for the in the first instance only. Okay, so this is also incorrect. So A is the correct answer. Now let us see question number 23. With reference to Indian Parliament, consider the following issue. A bill pending in the Lok Sabha lapses on its resolution. Yes, correct. A bill passed by Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha lapses on resolution. This is also correct. A bill in which the President of India notifies his or her attention to someone the Houses to adjourn lapses on the resolution. No, this is incorrect. So three has gone. So B will be the correct answer. I hope B is the correct answer. Yes. Now let us see the question number 22. With reference to union budget, consider the following consider the following statement. The union finance minister, on behalf of prime minister, lays down the annual financial statement. No, not the union finance, not on behalf of prime minister, but on behalf of the president of India. Okay, so this is incorrect. At the annual level, no demand for grant can be made except on recommendation. Yes, this is correct. So B will be the correct answer. However, if you see the UPSC answer key, so they have given as the correct answer, but we will consider B because B is the correct answer. Okay. Now, next, which of the following statements are correct in respect of money bill in the parliament? Okay, so Article 109 mentions a special procedure in respect of money bills. Yes, money bills shall not be introduced in the Council of States. Yes, that is also correct. As per can either approve or the bill or suggest is but cannot reject it. This is also correct. Amendment to a money bill suggested by Rajya Sabha have to be accepted. No, this is incorrect. So four has gone. Okay, four has gone. Now Rajya Sabha can so this 2 and 3 we know this is correct. A1 is also correct. So C is the correct answer. Yes. Now next question. Which of the following statements about the ethics committee in the Lok Sabha are correct? Initially, it was an ad hoc committee. Correct. Only a member of Lok Sabha can make a complaint related to unethical conduct. No, not only, but also a member of the Rajya Sabha or any other member. Okay. So two has gone. So C will be the correct answer. Yes. Now next, with reference to finance bill and money bill, again they have asked finance bill, money bill. When the Lok Sabha transmit finance bill to Rasi can amend or reject the bill. Finance bill to the Rajya, yes, can amend or reject the bill. Yes. When the Lok Sabha transmit money bill to the Rajya, it cannot amend or reject the bill. It can only make recommendation. Or Rajya cannot. Yes, this is also in case of it is joint sitting for money bill, but joint sitting becomes necessary for finance. This is incorrect. So B will be the correct answer. Let us see which are so statement. Statement 2 is correct. Statement 1 is also correct. Statement 3 is not correct. So, if in the case of disagreement between the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, there is a no joint sitting for money bill. However, in case of disagreement between the two houses over financial bill 1 and financial bill, the president can summon a joint sitting of the houses. It is not necessary. Okay, it is not mandatory. So that is the thing. So here you have mandatory, necessary, not necessary. Now next. Consider the following statements. A bill amending the Constitution requires a prior recommendation of the President of India. Yes, that is true. When the Constitution bill is presented to the President of India, it is obligatory for the President to give his her assent. Yes, Constitution amendment bill must be passed by both the houses of law by a special majority, and there is no provision for the joint. Yes, this is also true. So D is the correct answer, but they have given B. Sorry, they have given B 2 and 3. 1 is not correct. Why? Will amending the Constitution requires a prior recommendation of the President of India. I think this should be correct answer. Let us see if the bill can be introduced either by a minister or private member and does not require. Okay, sorry, I made it wrong. Okay, so Constitutional amendment bill does not require prior permission of the President. The President must give his assent to the bill. Okay. Now next question. With reference to Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha, consider the as per the rules of procedure and election of the deputy shall be held on such day as Speaker may fix. Correct. There is no mandatory provision that the election of candidate as Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha shall be from either the principal party or the ruling party. Yes, there is a mandatory provision. No, there is a no mandatory. There is a convention only. Okay, so two has gone. One is true, so A will be the correct answer. Yes, A is the correct answer. Now, question number 16. Which of the following is the exclusive power of the Lok Sabha to ratify the regulation of the no, to pass a no? Yes, this is correct. To impeach the president? No, this is also not correct. So, only 2 is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Now, question number 15. Consider so this question has been dropped. So we will not solve this question. Now, question number 14. I think we have done all the questions. Just a minute. Question number 14. Yes. Along with the budget, the finance minister also places other documents with the parliament, which include the macroeconomic framework statement, the associated document representative of FRBM Act. Yes, FRBM Act, fiscal responsibility and budget management. So D is the correct answer. Now moving to the next question. Rajya Sabha has equal powers with the Lok Sabha in matters amending the constitution. Okay, so B is the correct answer. Consider the following say the President of India can summon a session of Parliament at such place. Yes, correct. So it provides for this. No, this is incorrect. So two has gone. Two has gone. Okay. Let us say there is no minimum number of days that Parliament meet in year. There is a no minimum number of. Yes, that is true. So A, should be the correct answer. Yes. There is a just minimum session. Two sessions you need to have, but not minimum days. The Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act 1950 exempts several posts from disqualification on the grounds of office of profit. The above mentioned act was amended 5 times. I don't know. The term office of profit is well defined in the Constitution of India. So this is incorrect. So three, if you eliminate three, A will be the correct answer. So, okay. So just you need to have the correct knowledge about one statement. In India, which of the following review the independent regulators in the sectors like telecommunications, insurance, electricity, etc. Okay. Ad hoc committee set up by the Parliament, Parliamentary Department Standing and Finance Commission So we'll eliminate those which is not there. So finances commission will be eliminated. So these two will go on. Two is the common. Now five Niti Aayog, of course Niti Aayog will not be the answer. So A will be the correct answer. Yes. So easy question. So we have solved all the questions, I guess. Yes. 25 questions of the parliament last 10 years we have solved. Just 2025 questions we will be solving in the next session. Okay, thank you very much. So what we have understood is that they are asking questions from basic sources of Lakshmikant and CRT. Okay, and if you see the questions nature, so easy questions and medium questions. These will constitute around 80 to 90% part of the polity questions. Okay, and there will be two or three questions which will we consider as the tough or the difficult. Okay, so talking about the major sections, so Parliament, fundamental rights and fundamental duties, and the PSP, preamble, salient features of the Indian Constitution, political system, Indian judiciary. Then you have emergency provision, executives, okay, and then government schemes. So thank you very much. We'll meet again.